Carolina Hurricanes have now won their second Stanley Cup in franchise history by defeating the Vegas Golden Knights 3-0. And apparently today I find out that Vegas fired their coach.
No, it wasn't that John Tortorella was fired. It was just that his contract ran out with them. He wasn't there the whole season. They had fired their previous coach, Bruce Cassidy, like mid-season, late in the season.
How did you not bring the guy back? He just got you to the Stanley Cup Finals.
I don't know. But the last time Carolina got to the Stanley Cup Final was in 2006, which is the last time they won the Stanley Cup. So 20-year gap. You know, kind of ironic, I guess, that the two champions in the NBA and the NHL broke long droughts.
Well, was 20 years that long of a drought compared to 53?
Compared to 53, no, but 20 years is still 20 years.
It's a long time, but there are many franchises in the NHL that have never won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, never even made it to the Stanley Cup Final.
As Edmonton, how long is their drought going? They got to back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals and lost.
Yeah, the country of Canada hasn't won a Stanley Cup since like the 90s.
Well, it's been a while since a cold weather city won the Stanley Cup, right?
Yep. Yeah, the last few teams that have won it have been from the South, but my God, Jordan Staal was fantastic in this series.
I heard about that.
Seth Jarvis. Freddie Anderson gets injured. Brandon Bussey comes in and plays fantastic. My God. I've never seen anything like this. This Carolina team, they were the best team in the NHL. I know Colorado won the President's Trophy. No, Carolina was the best team. Rob Brindamore had this team firing on all cylinders. They are so hard to play against because they just go fast and go up and down the ice. This was one of the best Stanley Cup Finals I have ever seen. Every game was great. It felt like no lead was safe. Even when Carolina was pitching the shutout in Game 6, I'm like, Vegas is going to find a way to tie this up. And there's going to be a Game 7 on Wednesday. Obviously, that didn't end up happening. All credit to Carolina. Again, Seth Jarvis was fantastic. Jordan Staal. He won a Stanley Cup back in 2009 with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So there's that.
This
won
is his second Stanley Cup then?
I believe so.
Wait, 2009, so he played another 17 years?
That's right.
I forgot hockey players play forever.
I just want you both to know that I have you guys on my phone to use chat, but also on my TV. Yeah. So here you go, Grandizer. We're talking about the Stanley Cup. Please don't stay. Okay. Whatever.
By the way, fun fact. I got to see the Stanley Cup champions this year because when I was in D.C. for the Capitals game, they took on the Carolina Hurricanes.
Nice.
Now they lost in overtime, but
but no, Carolina was the best team from start to finish.
That's what I heard, which I also hear is a rarity in hockey. Usually it's like a Knicks situation where it's like, a 3 or 4 seed wins it.
Yeah. When Florida got to the Stanley Cup final in 2023, they were like the equivalent of what Miami did in 2023 in the NBA.
Yeah, except Florida was able to obviously win.
Well, no, they lost to Vegas in 2023.
Wait, Florida got there 3 straight years?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So a mini dynasty run ended this year.
Yeah, because the Panthers didn't even make the playoffs. But no, I loved this. It was a great series overall. It was fantastic for the NHL. I didn't love the coverage, by ESPN throughout this series. I think TNT does a much better job because literally all ESPN did was have Kevin Weeks on occasionally for like Get Up or whatever. They would have PK Subban on First Take or whatever, but their pregame coverage and like intermission was I forget who the host was, but it was Mark Messier and PK Subban as the analyst. With the NHL on TNT, you get Henrik Lundqvist, Wayne Gretzky, Paul Bissonnette. There's usually a head coach there. I think they do a much better job talking about the game, actually analyzing it. I think the TNT does a much better job covering the NHL.